I'm advisor on Islamic banking and finance for the foundation, the World Islamic Economic Foundation. Essentially what I do generally is to engage different parts of the markets to look into the possibility of embracing Islamic finance in support of a greater Islamic economy. So, World Islamic Economic Foundation is really about promoting Islamic economies and improvement of the Islamic economies in the greater context of the global markets. Yeah. So any economy requires funding. So the funding of the Islamic economies is the bit where I come in. I advise governments, teach, educate different parts of the world about how Islamic finance is being done, or how they can, or what they can do to include Islamic finance into their main financial system. So a lot of it is really conversations with different governments, largely governments, but also encouraging entrepreneurs, companies to look at Islamic finance as an alternative means to funding. Because by doing that, then we get great traction across the globe, including Islamic countries. And therefore, that's the objective of WIEF, really. Let's take the world today. A third of the population now we have are Muslims. And if you take the number of countries whose Muslim population are dominant, there's a fair bit of them. I can't remember exactly how much. So let's take from the fact that a third of global population are Muslims. And a lot of them cannot subscribe to interest-based banking. So that's an exclusion of a lot of people. So say if now you're selling to 2/3 of the universe, but with Islamic finance coming into picture, you can have a bigger audience. Let's take the halal industry. You may know that companies like Nestle have made a decision to go halal globally. And I guess the reason for that, and I read the statement by the CEO, was if we could only sell to 6 people before, now I can sell to 10. It just makes more sense because non-halal products Muslims can't consume, but halal products everybody can consume. So it's no different than Islamic finance. So if you embrace something that a bigger pot can subscribe to, you just have a bigger audience, and therefore you, in terms of sheer volume, you'd get the numbers in. So inclusion is critical, and which means it also extends to what one would call the emerging markets. A number of the OIC countries are emerging markets, and especially for countries where growth rates are like 1 or 2% or even negative, they'd have to move into this emerging markets, because that's where the growth, the trajectory is. Actually, there's lots to go, especially in today's world of digital payments. And at WIEF, we're presenting this, we're providing a platform for people with ideas. It's called the Idea Pad. And so if you have an idea, you're given 15 minutes to go and pitch your ideas, and investors are there to hear you out. So if you got a good idea, an investor likes it, and they'll put money. The whole change of into a digital economy globally, I think provides us even greater opportunity than before, because it allows you to reach to places that you otherwise could never reach physically. So, I mean, if you look at some markets in Africa, everybody has got a mobile phone. But banking penetration, let's just take Nigeria. Banking penetration is like less than 30%, but mobile phone penetration is 140%. So you could start introducing financial services through mobile phones. So mobility and online access to financial means now become real. And a lot of people wonder and say, but generally people think of the Islamic economies as being rather backward. And this is when I say, probably remind everybody that 1400 years ago, Islam was at the forefront of innovation and things. So it is time for the Islamic economies to come back and embrace its DNA on innovation. And with that, innovation, digital economy coupled with breakdowns of actually facilitates the breakdown of borders. So I think the theme is apt because this is the right time.